What does the Nvidia Control Panel do? Can I get extra performance? Is it worth my time? Well, let's find out. So sit down, strap in, let's go. Right guys, today I'm going to be looking at the different settings in the Nvidia Control Panel and how we can net ourselves some extra performance. So straight off the bat, I just want to say, if you do have newer hardware such as RTX and up, definitely RTX 30 series and up, you're probably not going to notice much of a difference in the Nvidia Control Panel. This is mainly for older hardware, anything on a GTX platform, because as you know, the minimum requirements in games are going up, so our performance is getting less and less and less. So any little tweaks that you can do is going to win you some extra performance, and in my books, that's a good thing. So before I get to the Nvidia Control Panel, you'll see I'll put some links in the description so you can go back to those, but I do individual tests, or have done individual tests in the Nvidia Control Panel to see which are the best settings. Obviously for each computer it's going to differ a slight little bit, but you can see I've done the work, so generally I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Nvidia Control Panel. So just opening up that Nvidia Control Panel. So guys, if you go to adjust image settings, if you set it to performance in manage 3D settings, it's going to put everything on its lowest variable. And I'm going to assume that everybody's watching this video to get extra performance. So we're not going to be worrying about visual fidelity. We're looking after maximum FPS. So set it to performance. Just for interest sake, the difference on my laptop between performance, setting it to performance, and setting it to quality and doing a benchmark over 10 games was a difference of 10%. So it just goes to show that these Nvidia Control Panel settings, whereas they don't make a massive difference in performance, there is actually still, you can net yourself anywhere up to 10% in performance. So guys, in adjust image settings, set it to performance and then hit apply. Manage 3D settings, obviously you want to put it on high performance Nvidia processor. Image sharpening, this can make things look a little bit better. So if you have a game that looks a little bit blurry, I recommend this setting. If in a game it looks blurry, setting it to sharpen to 0.3.0 and then just ignore film grain, but that's a video for a different day. The best performance is to leave sharpening off. And then obviously, because we set it to performance in adjust image settings, you don't have to worry about anything over here. Dynamic boost, if you don't have this option in your Nvidia Control Panel, it means your laptop doesn't have the dynamic boost functionality, so don't worry about that. Low latency mode, and this is actually quite a contentious topic, but guys, if you play single player, open world, third person games, I recommend setting the low latency mode to ultra, because in DirectX 10 it's not going to make any difference to your 1% lows or any difference to your performance, but for your DirectX 11 games this is actually going to boost your 1% lows quite dramatically. If you play multiplayer online games, I actually recommend leaving low latency mode off, because you're going to be introducing a whole bunch of input delay to your games. So yeah, it's dependent. If you play multiplayer online games, leave low latency mode off. If you play only single player games, put low latency mode on ultra. And then open GDDR compatibility. So I know that new games aren't in OpenGL. However, I did this test last year, and I find that when you put it on preferred performance, you actually get a couple of extra FPS here and there. Not a major amount of difference, but we're looking for the smallest fractions of percentages of increase. So I just put OpenGL GDDR compatibility to preferred performance. And then obviously OpenGL rendering GPU, you want to select your Nvidia GPU. In my case it's a GTX 1650. Power management mode, yet again another contentious thing. Some people say just put on optimal power. I actually did this test a while back and it's not a hell of a major difference, but prefer maximum performance. Put your GPU into a permanent state of maximum performance. as opposed to resting and then once it's needed it boosts up. So potentially it can avoid like little stutters and bottlenecks, etc, etc. Not a hell of a lot of difference, but there's a couple of extra percentage performance difference. Shader cache size. I actually did this video probably about a month ago. In my video, the best over the benchmark of 10 or so games that I did, driver default and unlimited got the best results. But you're gonna find that in games that have like a massive shader cache file size, such as The Last of Us, I actually recommend putting it to the unlimited. 1 gigabyte or 10 gigabyte, you actually get less performance on these two settings, but driver default and unlimited is where you get the best performance. And seeing that I play open world games, I just put it on unlimited. Anisotropic sample, what is this over here? What's the full name? Well, anyways, anisotropic sample options, just put it on. Texture filtering, negative load bias. I actually need to redo that video. My benchmark parameters were incorrect, but just put texture filtering, negative load bias, just leave it on allow. Texture filtering quality, you always want to set it to a high performance, because there's actually 1 or 2% difference between quality and high performance. Not a major difference, but we're looking for FPS here, so high performance is your baby. Thread optimization, I've done this video probably about 2 months ago. I compared these. Best is probably to leave it to auto. I put it on because on my laptop, in my games, I actually find that when I adjust all the things in Nvidia Control Panel, my best results are still with on. And then if you set adjust image settings to performance, vertical sync is going to switch off automatically, and the rest makes no difference whatsoever. So then in set physics configuration, you always just want to select your Nvidia GPU. And then guys, this one is a bit of a placebo, but if you go to desktop and you can select enable developer settings, and that's going to open manage GPU performance counters. And over here, instead of having it on restrict access to the GPU performance counters, just put it on allow access to GPU performance counters. Yet again, it's probably placebo. I don't really think it makes much of a difference. Once that's all done and said and done, just hit apply and you finish with the Nvidia Control Panel. Guys, yet again, I just want to reiterate, if you're on RTX 30 series and up, probably even RTX 20 series and up, these Nvidia Control Panel settings don't make much of a difference. But on older hardware, such as anything on a GTX platform, these Nvidia Control Panel settings can get you anywhere between extra 5 to 10% performance. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please hit me up in the comment section. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button. And furthermore, if you're still watching and you haven't subscribed as of yet, now's the time to do so. As always, it's people like you that make a difference in this world. Have a good day. Cheers.